On the 16th of December 2025, the March 23rd movement, M23, a rebel armed group operating in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, announced that it would withdraw its forces from the strategic city of Uvira in South Kivu province. The withdrawal was declared a unilateral action at the request of United States mediators, intended as a confidence-building measure to support ongoing peace efforts, particularly against the backdrop of recent peace agreements and escalating regional tensions. This statement outlines the background, recent events, rationale, geopolitical implications, humanitarian impact, and the path forward regarding this significant development. The March 23rd movement, M23, is a predominantly Tutsi-led rebel group named after a 2009 peace agreement it accused the DRC government of failing to honor. It has been one of the most powerful armed groups in eastern DRC, re-emerging in 2021 after disbanding in 2013, and is widely recognized for controlling large swaths of territory in North and South Kivu provinces. Since early 2025, M23 has mounted a large-scale offensive across eastern Congo, capturing major cities including Goma and Bukavu before advancing on Uvira, an economic and administrative hub on Lake Tanganyika near the Burundi border. This offensive occurred despite multiple international peace initiatives, including United Nations Security Council, Resolution 2773, Feb 2025, calling for M23 to halt hostilities and withdraw to previous positions, and urging Rwanda to stop support for the group. Peace negotiations facilitated by regional and international mediators in Doha and Washington, D.C. A U.S.-brokered peace deal signed in Washington early December 2025 by the governments of the DRC and Rwanda. M23's advance has dramatically exacerbated instability, drawing international condemnation and triggering a humanitarian crisis amid widespread displacement and civilian casualties. On the 16th of December 2025, M23 announced its intention to withdraw from Uvira following a request from United States mediators, labeling the move a unilateral trust-building measure to aid peace negotiations. Key elements of the announcement include an explicit U.S. request prompting the withdrawal, a call for demilitarization of Uvira, protection of civilians and infrastructure, and the establishment of neutral monitoring of any ceasefire terms. No detailed timeline or verification mechanism was provided, and reports from residents indicate that rebel fighters remain present in parts of the city even after the announcement. The move has been interpreted by analysts as both diplomatically significant and highly calculated, aimed at preserving leverage while avoiding deeper international sanctions. M23's capture of Uvira came days after a Washington peace deal was signed by Congo and Rwanda designed to stem the conflict. However, M23 continued its offensive, raising serious doubts about the stability and enforcement of that agreement. The United States, along with European partners, has publicly pressured Rwanda over its alleged support for M23, accusations Kigali consistently denies, even as diplomatic engagements continue. The withdrawal decision follows high-level talks involving DRC President Felix Tshisekedi, Rwandan President Paul Kagame, U.S. President Donald Trump. International mediators. These talks reaffirmed commitment to the peace process, yet also highlighted deep fractures between on-the-ground realities and diplomatic frameworks. The broader conflict, including the offensive in Uvira, has inflicted severe humanitarian suffering. Hundreds of civilians killed amid heavy fighting. Mass displacement, with over 200,000 people forced to flee in recent days alone. Cross-border refugee flows into Tanzania and Burundi, placing strain on regional resources and security. Human rights groups have documented abuses by all parties, including unlawful killings and forced displacement, underscoring the urgent need for enhanced civilian protection and humanitarian access. While the withdrawal announcement is a positive diplomatic signal, significant challenges remain. Verification and implementation. Independent observers are needed to confirm any actual pullback of forces. Security vacuum concerns. Demilitarization without a credible neutral force risks renewed violence or opportunistic attacks by other armed groups. Peace process fragility. Multiple ceasefires and agreements have faltered. Lasting resolution requires inclusive dialogue and enforcement by regional and international actors. Humanitarian response. Sustained international support is critical to meet urgent needs and protect civilian populations. The statement by M23 to withdraw its forces from Uvira represents a tentative and complex development in the ongoing crisis in eastern DRC. It underscores the power of sustained diplomatic engagement, but also highlights the persistent fragility of peace processes in contexts marked by deep grievances, regional rivalries, and humanitarian urgency. Going forward, effective implementation, international monitoring, and genuine commitment from all parties will be essential to translate this announcement into lasting peace and stability for the people of Eastern Congo.